Hello, my name is Richard Amon, and I'm the CEO of Disability Sport and Recreation. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the virtual staging of the 2020 Victorian Disability Sport and Recreation Awards. Following record nominations in the 11 award categories, we're set for a true celebration of excellence in our sector. It's the 11th time that DSR has staged these awards, and I congratulate every person nominated and selected as a finalist. You are all winners. After a difficult year, we become more focused on what's truly important in our lives, especially when it's been taken away. Sport, physical movement, and exercise has never been more vital to our physical and mental well-being. So we look forward to a brighter 2021. Tonight's awards celebrate what can be achieved in sport and recreation for people with disability and provide a shining light for a positive future. What a wonderful way to conclude International Day of People with Disability. There are so many diverse individuals and organisations who are doing incredible work, so it's wonderful to see so many being recognised tonight. It's a big challenge to get more people active, but on behalf of DSR, I'd like to thank you all for your contribution, whether you're a participant, a coach, an official, a volunteer, an administrator, a sponsor, or just a supporter of this important cause. Tonight's event has taken months of planning and hard work, so a big thank you to Melanie Page and the rest of my hardworking team. I wish every finalist the best of luck as the award winners are announced. So please sit back and enjoy the night as we celebrate and recognise what's truly possible for people with disability.
My name's Madeline Hogan, three-time Paralympic javelin thrower and board director of DSR. I'd firstly like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which tonight's event is held. I pay my respects to their elders past and present and the elders from other communities who may be here tonight. We also acknowledge that today is International Day of People with Disability and tonight is a fitting way to celebrate that. We're doing things a little differently this year due to COVID restrictions on public gatherings, so this virtual awards ceremony is new territory for all of us. Now, I still encourage everyone to interact in the comment section of YouTube or Facebook, depending on how you're watching tonight. Some of the ways you can celebrate from wherever you are include, if someone you know wins an award, give them a shout out and congratulate them. If you're having a watch party or sharing the night with family or a friend, post a photo of how you're celebrating the awards. You can also use the hashtag VicDSRAwards20. We'd like to thank our sponsors and supporters who have made this event possible: the Carbine Club, Victorian Government, Victorian Responsible Gambling Foundation, Box Hill Institute, Paralympics Australia, National Disability Insurance Agency, and of course, My Sport Live, who are crucial in bringing this all together. Now, let's get on to the awards. The first award for the evening is Coach of the Year. This award recognises a Victorian coach who has made significant impact at their club, local community, organisation or school. And the finalists are
Elle Dow. Elle is committed to making Australian rules football fun and accessible to everyone. Although she had previously coached FIDA teams, 2019 was her first time coaching a blind sport, let alone the very first season of AFL Blind. Elle created a friendly and safe environment for the Hawthorn Blind team, encouraging the players, providing positive feedback and building their confidence to lead them to a premiership. Saadat John Hussain. Saadat John has been a learn-to-swim coach for people with a disability for more than 10 years, continually building on his expertise and mentoring other coaches. In the past 12 months, he has created a strong squad of 7 multi-class swimmers with a variety of disabilities, including hearing impaired, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, and intellectual disability. Each member of the squad has reached state or national level, with some even being chosen to represent Australia. Margie Serrato. Margie creates a positive, encouraging and inclusive studio environment where she teaches strength training, rehabilitation, functional fitness, coordination, circus and more to people with a disability. She loves making a difference in the lives of her clients and goes above and beyond, teaching and mentoring others to become inclusive coaches.
And the winner of the 2020 Coach of the Year award is Sadiq John Hussain.
My name is Sadiq John Hussain. I'm very honoured to have been nominated for Coach of the Year award for the Victorian Disabilities Sport and Recreation Awards. 2019 seems such a long time ago. I'm so proud of my squad and all of their achievements. Some of the highlights that we have had were two of my junior boys making the Australian National Age Group Championships in multi-class in Adelaide. 3 of our senior athletes competing at the National Down Syndrome Championships in Brisbane and seeing all of them make the medal podium. And finally being selected as one of the coaches of the Australian swim team, along with 2 of my athletes and competing at the Innis Virtus Global Games in Brisbane. What was even more pleasing was seeing both of these athletes achieve all of their goals and being rewarded with many individual and relay medals. As a coach, I love seeing my swimmers achieve. I love the fact that I can take pride in knowing that I have had a hand in them achieving their goals. My future goals are to continue to grow the squad at the Geelong Swimming Club and assist my athletes to meet and achieve their goals. Personally, I'm looking forward to further extending my involvement with the Down Syndrome Swimming Australia squad and also the Virtus Global Games team. But most of all, my goal living in Victoria in this COVID time is to have our swimmers back in the water and have us all back together. I wish to thank the Geelong Swimming Club for their ongoing support of me as a coach and also of my squad. I want to thank the parents of my athletes who have always been there for us. I want to thank them for trusting me to get the best out of their athletes, and thank you for the coffee and friendship. I'd like to thank my family for allowing me to spend time away from them in the sport that I love. But most of all, I want to thank my wonderful, talented, intelligent, funny, dedicated squad of swimmers who make my time on the pool so enjoyable and so exciting. Thank you all very much, and I look forward to seeing what the future holds for us all.
Congratulations, Sadiq John. Our next award is Official of the Year. This award recognises a Victorian official who has demonstrated excellence in their chosen sport or activity. And the finalists are
Cindy McDougall. Cindy has officiated for almost 5 years and is a qualified Athletics Victoria official in different disciplines. She works hard to make sure that all athletes, regardless of ability, have the opportunity to experience and compete at all levels. Tony Warland. Tony has been a tennis official for athletes with intellectual impairment for 11 years. In 2019, he refereed for the Victorian State Championships, Australian Tennis Championships, and INAS Global Games held in Brisbane. Tony works to develop strong rapport and relationships with athletes, their parents, tournament staff, and major stakeholders to make sure the tournaments are successful.
the winner of the 2020 Official of the Year award is Tony Warland.
Hi, my name is Tony Warland and I'm a Tennis Australia accredited referee. I became involved with athletes with an intellectual impairment in 2010. Tennis as a sport for these athletes has grown immensely since then, and a number have developed into world-class players who now represent Australia. In 2019, Tennis Australia hosted the annual Australian Tennis Championships, which is held at the Australian Open on the back courts at Melbourne Park in January. Tennis Australia also hosted the INAS Global Games tennis event in Brisbane. Both of these events, I was honoured to be selected as the referee. It continues to be an amazing learning journey for myself, and I want to thank the athletes, their parents, and the Tennis Australia diversity team, because without their enthusiasm and support, these events on one of the world's biggest sporting stages would not be possible. Thank you.
Well done, Tony, and congratulations. Our next award is the Marg Angel Junior Sportsperson of the Year. This award has been named after an extraordinary woman who was a committed volunteer and passionate champion of junior wheelchair sports. In 2007, Marg received the prestigious Lord's Taverners Award in recognition of her significant contribution to the development of junior sports. And in 2010, along with her husband, Paul was made a life member of Disability Sport and Recreation. This award is now given in her honour. Here's a word from Paul.
G'day all. My name is Paul Angel, and it is my great pleasure to introduce the next award, the Marg Angel Junior Sportsperson of the Year Award. Marg was my wife, and when she was young, she was not allowed to participate in sport or phys ed at school because she had a disability. She didn't want others to be put in the same situation. So she worked tirelessly so that our children and all children with disabilities could have the opportunity to play sport and enjoy the physical, social and competitive benefits that sport brings. Marg was the first Victorian recipient of the Lord's Taverner Award for services to junior disabled sport in Australia, and in 2010 was awarded life membership to Disability Sport and Recreation for all her hard work. I would like to congratulate the three finalists, Georgia Pounding, Tisha Shadwell and Tori English, who no doubt all show the determination, hard work and good sportsmanship that Marg so admired.
And the finalists are
Georgia Pounding. Georgia is the Australian champion in the intellectual category for track cycling, track running and cross country, and is leading the current 2XU Sprint Triathlon Series. She also won the Winter Duathlon Series. In November 2019, she broke the Australian 5,000 metres Athletics Australia para record, taking more than 1 minute off the record. She is an outstanding role model to her peers and younger athletes, and volunteers as an assistant coach. Tisha Shadwell. Tisha competes at all levels of wheelchair basketball, from state to international. In 2019, she played in the KCC national team, the Kilsyth WNWBL team, the Australian Devils under-25 team, and the Australian Gliders senior team. She was also selected in the first 3x3 World Championship team. Tisha encourages everybody to have a go and believes her disability is a chance to show others that nothing is a closed door. It's just an opportunity to open a different door. Tori English. Tori competes in athletics and cross country, and at the age of 12 has a long list of achievements. In 2019, she won multiple gold medals at both state and national level and set several records in the Australian Athletics 800 metres. Tori was elected to the Short-Statured Sport Australia Committee as a junior representative, as well as schools captain.
And the winner of the 2020 Marg Angel Junior Sportsperson of the Year Award is Georgia Pounding.
Hi, my name is Georgia Pounding. I am proud to be the finalist for the Marg Angel Junior Sports Year Award. 2019 was the busiest year for me. I competed the medalists at International Virtus Games. I also won Cycling Australia Road Champion, the Triathlon Victoria Sprint Distance. I want to thanks Liz and Mum and Dad and my family and friends for supporting me.
Congratulations, Georgia. That's a fabulous achievement. Our next award is for an inclusive sport, recreation, or open space infrastructure. This award recognises how changes to our shared spaces can impact a person's capacity to take part in sport and recreation. And the finalists are
Casey Stadium. The City of Casey recently completed a $25 million two-stage redevelopment of Casey Stadium. A variety of accessible features have been included in the redevelopment, such as a changing places toilet, dimmable lighting on courts, and hearing loops in sections of the facility. WMCA Victoria also partnered with Accessibility Australia to create an access key, which is a customised accessibility guide for the stadium. Saints Play. St Kilda Football Club secured an AFL membership function space to convert into the chill-out zone at each Saints home game. It provides a space for fans with sensory processing issues to take a break from the crowds. St Kilda was the first AFL club to offer a dedicated space such as this.
And the winner of the 2020 Inclusive Sport, Recreation or Open Space Infrastructure Award is Casey Stadium.
Hi, I'm Matt from Casey Stadium. On behalf of the YMCA Victoria and the City of Casey, we're extremely humbled to be a finalist of the Inclusive Sport, Recreation or Open Space Infrastructure Award. The City of Casey have recently completed a $25 million redevelopment of Casey Stadium, which has provided the Casey community with a prominent state-of-the-art indoor sports facility. A variety of accessible features have been implemented in the redevelopment, including a changing places toilet, dimmable lighting, as well as hearing loops across the stadium. The City of Casey have provided us with a much needed boost for indoor sports in the City of Casey, which has seen an increase of 146% of participation in programs for people with disability, which has included the first national wheelchair softball competition alongside Softball Australia. On top of this, we've seen YMCA Victoria run programs, as well as partnership programs alongside DSR, Badminton Victoria, and the Casey Basketball and Netball Associations. We look forward to welcoming the community back to Casey Stadium soon. Thank you.
Congratulations, Matt and Casey Stadium. Our next award is for the Carbine Club Team of the Year. This award recognises a Victorian team that has achieved outstanding results and shown a high level of commitment to their sport or activity. Here's a word from our sponsor of this award, the Carbine Club.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Andrew Cannon, the president of the Carbine Club. I've been proudly involved as part of the Carbine Club since I joined with the Carbine Club's foundation as its chair. And initially we came across DSR through Peter Winicky, who was one of the founders of the foundation in its current format. And we've had a fantastic relationship with DSR for over 10 years, and it's been incredibly rewarding for us as Carbine Club members, and I obviously represent the Carbine Club. And we're looking to continue this relationship. This year's been a tough year with C19, and as you'd be aware, we do our fundraising through our two major events. And this year we haven't been able to do it. But however, we will be continuing in a reduced way, but we'll be continuing our sponsorship of DSR into next year, because we think the work that the board and the group and the athletes do is fantastic. And frankly, we have been inspired by what we've seen, and we really normally enjoy being part of the presentation with you. But as we know, this year we've had to adjust, and that's why I'm speaking to you on this Zoom format. But I can say that the awards that we've had, and I remember them out at Moonee Valley, I remember them at the town hall, and some of our members that are no longer with us, like Max Walker, the well-known face of Channel 9 Sport, an ex-AFL player and great cricketer, used to be involved, and all of us that were involved were very touched by such a great group of people. And as I say, it's inspirational, the work that both the athletes and the organisation does. So it really is a great pleasure to be able to congratulate the finalists for this year's Carbine Club Team of the Year Award. And congratulations to all of you. And thank you for being you, and thank you for inspiring us to do more as well. And we love our relationship. And to all the finalists, I just wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
And the finalists are
Bowls Victoria Physical Disability Stateside. The team were named Australian champions at the 2019 Multi-Bowl Nationals in Mackay, placing in all but 2 events. Due to their standout performances at the Nationals, 2 of the team members were chosen to represent Australia with the BCIB Jackaroos Parasport squad. Geelong Swimming Club. The club swims in both pool and open water and has competed in local to international competitions, including the INAS Global Games, the World Deaf Championships, the Special Olympics State Championships, and Australian Down Syndrome Championships. In 2019, team members collected 6 world records and 32 gold medals at these competitions and support each other to perform the best they can. Hawthorn Football Club Blind Team. In 2019, the Hawthorn Blind Football Team won the inaugural premiership of the Victorian Blind Football League. This achievement was an outstanding show of progress for a team that lost their first game by 149 points, but quickly developed their skills and ability to work as a team.
And the 2020 Carbine Club Team of the Year is Geelong Swimming Club.
Hi everyone, my name's Glenn Benson and I'm the president of Geelong Swimming Club and the chairman of the Geelong Swimming Club Foundation. It's a great pleasure to sit here knowing that the Victorian Disability Sport and Recreation Awards have awarded us a prize this year for our club endeavours, and we're very grateful for that. One of the reasons why we are very grateful is the fact that it's great recognition for the work that's been involved or that's taken place. So as our kids, our multi-class competitors can swim. So in terms of that type of work, we've generated a foundation to support our multi-class swimmers or our swimmers with disabilities. We're obviously very inclusive at the club, and our coaching staff is very inclusive, and we have specialist coaches, or one in particular, for our multi-class kids. And the other thing is that we also try and explain to the parents just how important it is for our club to have their kids on board, because their kids teach our club and our members more than what we can just through textbooks or through education. So it's actually diversity actually in place, and so we love their attendance. The other thing is our club is very proud just to be able to provide the opportunity for these kids to swim, because a lot of the time swimmers with disabilities, they swim in competitions that aren't necessarily in the direct line of Swim Victoria, which is our affiliated body, and we take great pride in assisting them to get to their other various competitions like the Down Syndrome Swimming Association national titles or the Deaf Olympics or whatever it may be. Now, this can only happen if we've got a really good committee that is committed to helping everyone and keeping this process going. And we have that, and we have had that for quite some time. The other thing is we need obviously dedicated coaches that are very open to putting that extra effort in to ensure that everyone feels welcome at our club. But perhaps most of all is that these kids need really supportive parents. Swimming's not an easy sport. Kids have to travel distances and get up early, and without the parents, we couldn't do that. So on behalf of Geelong Swimming Club, I'd like to thank our great committees and our coaches and our parents, because it is those people that enable us to be a recipient of the 2020 Victorian Disability Sport and Recreation Award. Thanks very much.
Congratulations, Glenn, and congratulations to the Geelong Swimming Club. It's now time to hear from our keynote speaker for the evening, Andrew Edmondson, OAM. Andrew is a wheelchair rugby player who made his international debut in 2014 and his Paralympics debut 2 years later at Brazil 2016, with the Australian wheelchair rugby team, the Steelers. Andrew will join us to share his story after a short word from National Disability Insurance Agency CEO, Martin Hoffman.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Martin Hoffman, the Chief Executive of the National Disability Insurance Scheme, and it's great to be with you. Our focus at the NDIS is on ensuring participants realise the full benefits of this groundbreaking social reform. This includes helping participants pursue their goals and increase their independence. Many participants have supports in their plans so they can get involved in sport and recreation activities. Building support for these activities into plans is so important, not only for health and well-being, but for the connection and inclusion in community that we all know sport can bring. We're working to make sure Victorians and all Australians with disability have equal opportunities to meaningfully engage in the sport or recreation activity of their choice. This includes participants like Tom Smith, a 15-year-old from Tasmania with global developmental delay and autism. Tom plays in an AFL All Abilities football clinic to build his skills and create new friendships. Tom thrives from the acceptance, inclusion and friendship he's found in AFL footy. Or Dean Laws from Sydney, who at 59 and with the degenerative neurological condition Parkinson's, is training for the 2021 full Sydney Marathon. Exercise like this helps Dean to manage Parkinson's related symptoms such as hand tremors, fatigue and muscle soreness. These are just two examples of many and many more that you know where sport and recreation play an important role in people's lives. My job tonight is to introduce our guest speaker, and I'm honoured to introduce Andrew Edmondson, wheelchair rugby Paralympic gold medalist and your keynote speaker this evening. Andrew has been representing Australia as an athlete for several years now, and more recently has become an NDIS participant too. Tonight he will share his story of overcoming challenges to reach gold medal glory and the transformative power of sport and recreation. The last thing for me to do is say congratulations to all the winners this evening. Have a great night, and over to you, Andrew. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Andrew Edmondson. I'm a full-time wheelchair rugby player. I grew up playing sport. I was a perfectly healthy, able-bodied young boy, and I really loved sport and loved everything about being physically active and playing with my mates and getting out there and having fun. And it was a huge part of my upbringing. And my dreams when I was younger was to play professional sport, hopefully one day play for Australia in rugby. And everything changed for me in 2004 when I had an accident and broke my neck, which left me in a wheelchair and will most likely be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. And as you can imagine, as a young, invincible, I guess, young guy that was really active and loved being outdoors, it was a huge change for me and my family as well. And yeah, to hear that news, at first, the furthest thing from my mind was sport. I didn't think about that at all. I just wanted to think about getting back into everyday life and I guess being as normal as I could. And for me at the time, going through rehab was the first time I got the opportunity to see disabled sport. And previous to the first time I saw it, I didn't know it really existed. I knew that some people in wheelchairs did sport, but I didn't know there were so many different sports for people with all different types of disabilities. And fortunately for me, one of the days when I went down to rehab, I was introduced to a sport of wheelchair rugby. And from that day forward, everything changed for me. The first time I saw it, I really couldn't believe that guys in wheelchairs were able to do that and go out there and play a sport like that. It was full contact and smash into each other. And yeah, from that day forward, it was a huge turning point for me personally, just to have something to look forward to, I guess, beyond what had happened to me. At the time, I went back to school and finished my schooling because that was really important to me. And wheelchair rugby at the time was just a hobby. I'd just play on the weekends whenever I could, and being so young as well made it really difficult for me to get involved with the sport. Often I was playing with guys that are a lot older than me. So for me at the time, it was just a bit of fun, and it wasn't until I finished university, 2011, that I decided that wheelchair rugby was something I really wanted to pursue, and it was my dream to hopefully one day make it onto the Australian team, and then if everything went to plan, hopefully make it to the Paralympics. Unfortunately for me, after a lot of hard work, training in the gym, training on the court, working really, really hard to reach my goal, which was to play for Australia. I got my first opportunity to play in 2014, and have been part of the Australian Steelers team then for since that year. And for me, it's been amazing. As I mentioned, it was a dream when I was a little boy to play sport for Australia. Little did I know it would be under these circumstances and within the sport that I play now. But for me to have been through what I have and to overcome that and to be able to do what I do now, I'm so fortunate. I'm really lucky to have had great people around me and great opportunities to get involved in this sport. And for now, it's my main job, my main focus. I love being part of this sport, the opportunities that come with it, getting to travel around the world, getting to play against and with some of the best players in the world, and getting to go to a Paralympic Games is an absolute dream come true. So it's been a hugely important part of my life, disability sport, and I think it will be. I'll keep playing it and until I'm not allowed to anymore. So it's something I really enjoy, and hopefully lots more people get the opportunity to get involved in disabled sport and get out there, and it does change a lot of things in a lot of people's lives. So if anyone sees this video, I highly encourage them just to get out there and to get involved in disabled sport, and you never know where it could take you. So thank you.
Thanks, Andrew, for joining us tonight, and thank you Paralympics Australia and the National Disability Insurance Agency for their support in having Andrew join us tonight. Now we're going to take a short break, so now is the time to get up, make some popcorn, keep an eye on the timer so you know when we'll be back.
Once you pull on that uniform, that green and gold uniform, you get the spirit of the Aussie mob. You hear it, you see it, you feel it, and you dream it in your heart, which is protected by our country's coat of arms. Just like the kangaroo and emu, we only go forward. As we get set for Tokyo. Now this team's full of champions from all over the great southern land. We've come from Bunbury and Bathurst, even out past Tannum Sands. We excel in the pool and the track, on the court and with the ball. Don't mess with the mob in green and gold, as we move strong and tall. When you don these Aussie colours, your spirit is fierce and loyal and proud, and it all cranks up a notch or three when Cooee calls from the crowd. For some, life has been tough. We've felt the lows, but man, they're worth the highs. That's the way we train, compete, with passion tattooed in our eyes. So if you want to be part of history, join us in our quest for the Holy Grail. When you're in the Aussie mob, the rest are set to fail. So we've had another setback. What does that mean for the dream? Remember, we're Australians. Our country is young and strong and free. Our land abounds in athletic gifts with talent rich and rare. So in history's page, let's make our Tokyo stage the place to advance Australia fair.
Kids today experience sport very differently than you and I did when we were growing up.
Kids are definitely exposed to betting advertising, betting agencies.
So many kids know about betting.
I'm really proud that GMHBA Stadium is now a gambling ad-free environment.
Gambling advertising is changing how they see sport.
As parents, coaches and role models, you can help change the conversation.
If you hear young people talking about the odds,
ask them what they love most about the game.
Tell them that betting is risky.
Make sure kids know that not everyone is betting.
And point out all the great things about sport.
Love the game, not the odds.
Welcome back and thanks again for joining us for the 2020 Victorian Disability Sport and Recreations Award. A reminder that you can interact in the comments section of YouTube and Facebook. Some of the ways you can celebrate from wherever you are include if someone you know wins an award, give them a shout out and congratulate them. If you're having a watch party or sharing the night with family or friends, post a photo of how you're celebrating. You can also use the hashtag VicDSRAwards20. Our next award is for Lifetime Achievement. This award was introduced in 2014 and acknowledges the length and breadth of an individual's contribution to their chosen discipline, sport, club, or association. Here's DSR Chair Sarah Anderson to tell us about the 2020 recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Hi, I'm Sarah Anderson, Chair of DSR, and I'm thrilled to be here to announce the winner of the Disability Sport and Recreation Lifetime Achievement Award. In 2019, DSR made the Lifetime Achievement Award non-competitive because we believe that people should be acknowledged for their commitment and outstanding contribution. For the 2020 Disability Sport and Recreation Lifetime Achievement Award, I'm so pleased to announce that the winner as Timothy Chu. Tim has been involved in DSR as a support worker and carer at Disability Sport and Recreation annual summer and winter camps for over 25 years. These many years of service have been as a voluntary basis, and over his time, Tim has helped more than 750 people participate in recreation activities. Tim has also helped to drive buses, take photos, and provide assistance to nurses. Tim attended his first camp in 1993 as a physio student, and in order to support our winter camps, Tim learnt how to ski. Tim's effort to help every person be able to participate in sport and recreation is a true reflection of the goals of DSR. Congratulations, Tim.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's an incredible honour to receive this Lifetime Achievement Award. There are so many athletes, coaches, volunteers and managers out there who are equally deserving. I've had an amazing 27-year journey with disability sport and recreation, and I feel so privileged to be able to support and guide so many of these courageous children on both winter and summer camps over so many years. These kids have disabilities ranging from amputation to cerebral palsy to autism and so many other conditions. And all of these children have very differing needs. On these camps, we expose the kids to a selection of activities that push them to the edge of their comfort zone, with activities like snow skiing, and we have the most epic snow fights, which I always win, of course, but we also have done sailing in dinghies, the kids fly on a 20-metre giant swing, horse riding, surfing, campfire cooking, and so much more. And whilst not everyone loves every activity, they always leave camp proud of the fact that they have tried something new, that they've pushed themselves to their limits. It'd be great to think that everyone could be the next Dylan Alcott, but the reality is that's just not possible. But it is possible for everyone to be given the opportunity to try. And that's what these camps are all about, opportunities. And whilst I'm incredibly proud of my involvement in these kids' camps, it wouldn't be right to not thank a few key people. Firstly, to Disability Sport and Recreation, thank you so much for continuing to run these camps. They're not cheap to run and they require a huge amount of time from the DSR team who year after year commit to giving the kids the best experience possible. To all the other volunteers on the camps, you're all heroes in the eyes of these kids. And these kids know that camps wouldn't be possible or nearly as much fun without you all. To Darren Pickering, a life member of Disability Sport and Recreation, and Shona Williamson, you are the most dedicated nurses I know. And I know a lot of nurses after working in health for more than 25 years. And the way that you both work with children is absolutely awe-inspiring. To my family, thank you for giving me a leave pass for these camps each year and for tolerating my grumpiness when I return from camps, utterly exhausted. To the parents of the kids, thank you for trusting us to look after your precious children and for giving them the opportunities of a lifetime. And most importantly, thank you to all the kids that I've had the privilege to get to know on these camps. You will forever inspire me with your courage, humour, tolerance, patience, determination, empathy, and teamwork. So thank you very much for this award.
Congratulations, Tim. You must be proud. That's quite the achievement. Our next award this evening is for the PwC Volunteer of the Year. This award acknowledges a volunteer who has shown dedication to their sport through volunteering and a genuine desire to help others. Here's a word from our sponsor of this award, PwC.
Well, look, it's a real pleasure to be here with you. I'm Sean Gregory, the Chief Strategy Officer for PwC, and I'm joined by Sophia Langshaw, the sponsor for our Ability Network. I just want to introduce the PwC Volunteer Awards and a huge and general congratulations to all of the participants here, some really wonderful people. Nicola and Maria Volos with the volunteer work that they do for the Special Olympics tennis. Jeff Waldron for his work in AFL and Speedway, and Caitlin Sharp for the volunteer work in athletics. And we thank you for what you're doing, and you're making up a wonderful group of finalists. Over to you, Soph.
On behalf of PwC, Sean and I are delighted and really grateful to be part of your special night tonight. At PwC, we see it's really important to celebrate disability, inclusion and diversity. And in particular, the PwC and the Victorian Disability Sports and Recreation Award partnership is really important to our firm. It's aligned to PwC's purpose of solving important problems, and we really believe there is so much that can be done to deliver better outcomes for people living with a disability, their families and their carers. While we mainly focus on better and more meaningful employment opportunities and creating a more inclusive culture within PwC, we also strongly believe that it's our responsibility to look at what we can do to influence the aspirations of the disability community beyond PwC. Through partnerships like this with like-minded organisations such as the Disability Sport and Recreation, we can create a shared vision and reach beyond our traditional clients and stakeholders to ensure we can improve a wider variety of outcomes for people with a disability, their families and carers, and the broader community in general. Thank you.
And the finalists are?
Nicole and Maria Valos. Nicole and Maria are identical twins and have volunteered as Special Olympics Victoria tennis coordinators and coaches for 22 years. They are authentic, highly skilled volunteers who are committed to working with people with disability to help them gain health benefits and social inclusion through tennis. Caitlin Sharp. Caitlin is a passionate and successful para-athlete in her own right and freely gives of her time, despite being in Year 12, to give back to the sport she loves. She has become an excellent assistant coach at the Terang Athletic Club and carries out her responsibilities with confidence and friendliness. Jeff Waldron. Jeff volunteers during the football season for the Coleraine Football Netball Club, and once the season is over, he volunteers for the Hamilton Speedway. With over 20 years of volunteering under his belt, Jeff has shown everyone at the club what it means to be socially accepted and part of a community.
The winner of the 2020 PwC Volunteer of the Year Award is Caitlin Sharp.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Sharp. I'm 18 years old and I'm from Terang. I'm a para-athlete hoping to make the Paralympics in long jump. I'm very grateful and surprised to be a finalist for the Volunteer of the Year Award. During 2019, I helped volunteer at the Terang Athletics Club as an assistant coach. I also helped volunteer for many other things such as Little Athletic Centres, youth council events and region and state athletics competitions. I love watching how happy people are after helping them. I also want to be a coach when I'm older because I love watching people achieve their goals and try their best. I would like to thank Jill McKenzie for nominating me for this award and for also helping me let out as an assistant coach at the Terang Athletics Club. I would also like to thank my mum for encouraging me to always help out and for taking me to all the events and training. I also would like to thank the Disability Sports and Recreation for this award. Thank you.
Congratulations, Caitlin and Jeff. Our next award is for Initiative of the Year. This award recognises an organisation, individual or team that has set up a sustainable initiative or program that helps Victorians with disability take part in sport and recreation. And the finalists are?
Accessible Beaches. Accessible Beaches is a charitable organisation whose mission is to enable all Australians with disability to access and experience the beach. To date, the initiative has provided accessibility information, planning, training and innovative technologies to 41 beaches around Australia, provided 64 beaches with wheelchairs and beach mobility devices, and held 22 major events that bring wheelchair users, councils and communities together. Autism Gym. Gymnastics Victoria created the initiative, effectively known as Autism Gym, to improve the quality of opportunities for children with autism spectrum disorder to take part in gymnastics. This includes educational workshops, coaching resources, program models, and working with psychologists to upskill 228 coaches to better manage complex behaviours. Access Key Project. Designed by Accessibility Australia, Access Keys are customised accessibility guides that provide information for people with disability about visiting sport and recreational facilities and programs. They provide a range of helpful and predictive information and include colour photographs, supportive text, maps, visual communication boards, as well as sensory guides that outline the sensory elements of an experience.
And the winner of the 2020 Initiative of the Year award is Access Key Project.
Hello, my name is Maxine Parker, and today I represent Judy O'Connor and I as Directors of Accessibility Australia. We would like to thank Disability Sport and Recreation for the opportunity to be involved in the 2020 Victorian Disability Sport and Recreation Awards. We would like to also thank Disability Sport and Recreation for everything that they do to help Victorians with disability live happier and active lives. We are passionate about driving inclusive practices and improving community experiences for people with disability. This is a wonderful opportunity to have our work recognised, as well as a monumental achievement that recognises community attitudes shifting towards a reduction of barriers that would normally hinder full and effective participation. This moment is for each individual now that has a chance to meaningfully engage in sport and recreation, because the doors have been opened by the many that have helped to make this happen. We would also like to thank today our amazing AAA team that support us each and every day, our AAA supporters and our AAA network members that have entrusted us to support their patrons through the use of Access Keys. Thank you all and good luck to all finalists.
Congratulations, Maxine, and congratulations, Access Key Project. Our next award is for Masters Sportsperson of the Year. This next award acknowledges an athlete over the age of 40 who has shown great commitment to their sport or recreation and acted as a role model with a high level of sportsmanship. And the finalists are?
Duke Trench Thiedman. In 2019, Duke represented Australia at the World Para Badminton Championships in Switzerland and won bronze in both the singles and doubles in the Oceania Para Badminton Championships in Ballarat. Duke is also the president of Ability Para Badminton Club and started a seniors para badminton group at Darebin Sports Centre. Julie Matthews-Eva. Julie is the first bionic dancer in the world to reach competition level. She believes it's not about winning, but taking part and having a sense of achievement. In 2019, she competed in Tasmania, Queensland and Toowoomba, where she came first. Chris Henderson. In 2019, Chris made his debut in the sport of AFL wheelchair and went on to win Best and Fairest Player and best player in the grand final. He is a proactive player with team spirit and has used his success to educate others on overcoming barriers.
The winner of the 2020 Masters Sportsperson of the Year award is Duke Trench-Thiedemann.
Hi, I'm Duke Trench-Thiedemann, a paraplegic in a wheelchair with a spinal cord injury that I got from a motorcycle accident 11 years ago. My friends asked me, why am I so passionate about my sport, para badminton? And I just answered like this: it's fun, fantastic, a fantastic way to maintain my health and fitness, and allows me to socialize with others and interact so that I can exchange ideas, and it also gives me the opportunity to be both physically and competitively improving. I've been in badminton since 2015, and within that time in 2017 and now in 2019, been selected to play for Australia in the World Para Badminton Games in 2019 in Basel in Switzerland. A great honour, I thought, and for someone of my age was absolutely awesome. Para badminton is a non-contact sport. It's an inclusive sport, and it allows all members of the family, no matter what their age or physical capabilities, to participate. And I think that's really important for any sport, to be able to be inclusive and allow for many people to play. What does getting this award mean to me? Well, I'm pretty chuffed about it and very humbled. But the most important thing about me receiving this award is to be able to get the message out there about my favourite sport, para badminton, and how to get people to participate and actually have fun and get out there and enjoy life. I'd like to thank finally my wife Ruth, family and friends for giving me the encouragement to continue. Secondly, Kay Cody, what an awesome lady, the Victorian coach, and for her dedication and effort to keep and support para badminton. Thirdly, Ian Bridge. He's the national coach for para badminton, and his efforts in actually establishing and developing new methods for getting both nationally and internationally para badminton Australia off the ground. Well done. And Badminton Victoria, and of course Badminton Australia. And finally, my doctor asked me to say this, my Dr. Vijay Khanna, to thank him for getting my body as an old person, 67 years of age, to be able to do what I need to do. Thanks, Vijay. Thanks, everyone.
Well done, Duke. Our next award is for the My Sport Live Male Sportsperson of the Year. This award acknowledges a male sportsperson who has shown great commitment to their sport or recreation and acted as a role model with a high level of sportsmanship. Here's a word from our sponsor of this award, My Sport Live.
Hi, my name's Andrew Weiss from My Sport Live. We're proud to be DSR partners for the third year on end now and to be major sponsors of this prestigious event. I'm here to introduce the My Sport Live Male Sportsperson of the Year award, and would like to congratulate all the finalists in this category, as well as the winner. We continue to be inspired and motivated by so many of the stories that are shared at this event and throughout the industry every day and every year. We look forward to continuing to be part of the celebration of these achievements and congratulate all of the finalists and all of the winners from all categories this year. Thanks.
And the finalists are?
Jared Clifford. In 2019, Jared set a new world record in the 1500 metres at the Para World Championships. He also set a new Oceania and Australian record in the 5,000 metres. He's a proactive member of his local athletics club and trains over 30 hours a week. Josh Barry. In 2019, Josh was the first person to win all 3 gold medals at the Multi-Bowl Nationals and enjoyed success at other singles, pairs, triples and fours events. Josh is a great mentor to the younger bowlers and takes a 10-hour round trip every weekend to play at Deer Park. Clint Picken. In 2019, Clint came first in the Newcastle OTU Paratriathlon Oceania Championships and Australian Paratriathlon National Championships. He placed in many other events at home and internationally. Clint competes with a smile, demonstrates good sportsmanship and friendship, and is held in high regard with his competitors in the PTS4 series internationally.
And the winner of the 2020 My Sport Live Male Sportsperson of the Year award is Clint Picken.
I'm honoured to be a finalist for My Sport Live Male Sportsperson of the Year. For me, it gives recognition for the hard work and the choices we make into our sport and community. Being able to represent Australia all over the world is really why I do the sport and chose triathlon as my sport. What I love about my sport is the challenge of being able to do 3 sports in one event. You know, you can't just be good at swimming, cycling or running. You know, we have to be very good at all 3. So it's a great challenge, pushes the body. For me, you know, the Vic Awards, I haven't been a person with a disability for very long. It's only been 6 years, so I'm very new to the sport. I love the challenge and the way I've had to adapt and change my body and, you know, get used to having a prosthetic leg below the knee has been probably my biggest thing. Goals for the future, Tokyo 2021 now is a big thing. I managed to get myself into a position to make it to 2020, so I'm hoping to push on once COVID's cleared and make it to Tokyo 2021 if the event happens. I couldn't have done this without all the support of my family, friends, partner, my sponsors, Safe Solutions Care, Valari Sport, Brooks Australia, ACT Academy of Sport, Triathlon Australia, and of course my coach Megan Hall at T3C, who have supported me to move my life to Canberra to be able to chase the dream of Tokyo.
Congratulations, Clint. Our last award for the evening acknowledges a female sportsperson who has shown great commitment to their sport or recreation and acted as a role model with a high level of sportsmanship. And the finalists are?
Carol Cook. In 2019, Carol was the overall series winner in the UCI Paracycling World Cup and T2 Road Race, and the time trial winner of the UCI Paracycling World Championships. Carol is a fantastic role model and ambassador for athletes with disability and acts as a mentor for paracyclists who are new to the sport. Phoebe Mitchell. Phoebe is a backstroke, breaststroke and freestyle swimmer. She took home 10 gold medals, 1 silver and 1 bronze at the 2019 Virtus Global Games. She currently holds 15 world records, but has broken world records 75 times since 2008. Phoebe can be seen at competitions encouraging her teammates to push themselves and strive to be the best. Shay Graham. Shay competes in wheelchair rugby at an elite international level and is the first woman to be chosen to represent Australia with the Steelers team. She made her international debut at the 2019 Four Nations tournament in the USA and earned gold at the 2019 Asia Oceania Championships in South Korea, as well as silver at the 2019 World Wheelchair Rugby Challenge in Japan.
And the winner of the 2020 Female Sportsperson of the Year award is Phoebe Mitchell.
Hi, my name is Phoebe, and I am really proud to be a finalist for the 2020 Disability Sport and Recreation Awards. 2019 was really fabulous. I got 8 gold medals in my 8 events at the Downs and Zones National Swimming Championships in Brisbane. And then I got 7 gold, 1 silver, and 1 bronze in my 9 events at the Innis Global Games in Brisbane 2. I also got 4 world records last year. I love swimming, getting up early to training, and I love competing. I just adore the water. I hope I get to swim championships, competitions in Australia and overseas again soon and catch up with my friends. Thanks so much to my super coach, Started Sane. He is really amazing. And to my mum and dad for driving me everywhere and always helping me. Thank you.
Congratulations, Phoebe, and congratulations to all the finalists and winners, all of those who were nominated, and of course, all who supported them. Thank you to everybody for joining us here for this special virtual version of the awards this year, and thank you to the independent judges for their time, expertise in selecting the finalists and the winners. Thank you again to those involved and the ongoing support of the Carbine Club, the Victorian Government, Victorian Responsible Gambling Foundation, Box Hill Institute, Paralympics Australia, National Disability Insurance Agency, and of course, thank you to My Sport Live.